Welcome to Fazza Love Poem. Subscribe now. They tried to keep us apart, weaving walls of distance and silence between us. But destiny was already writing in secret what no hand could erase. They told us love was impossible, that the world was too heavy for hearts as fragile as ours. But fate laughed softly in the dark, moving us closer with every attempt to separate us. I remember the nights when I thought I had lost her, when her absence was heavier than stone, yet even then, something unseen pulled me forward. Even in my despair, her name echoed within me, as though destiny itself carried it through the winds. Love became the quiet rebellion against every barrier, the spark that refused to die no matter how many storms came. Destiny does not ask permission, it simply unfolds. And in its unfolding, it brought me back to her. Every tear shed in longing became a seed, and from it grew the truth. Nothing, not even the strongest chains, could hold back what was always meant to be. The world raised its voice against us, filling our days with reasons to give up. They said the distance was too far, the struggle too painful, the doubt too strong. They tried to bury the light beneath shadows, to silence the heartbeat that kept calling her name inside me. But fate had already chosen otherwise. The more they pulled us apart, the deeper our souls reached for each other. In every sleepless night when I thought I had nothing left, her presence came back to me in silence, proving that destiny was stronger than despair. The truth of her love was not bound to time or place. It lived in me, unstoppable. They thought separation would weaken us, but it only deepened the roots of our love. Every test became proof. Every struggle became fuel. Every absence became the promise of return. For destiny is not written in paper or ink. It is etched in the very fabric of our souls, and no one can tear it away. There were days when the world seemed victorious, when silence stretched too long and distance grew unbearable. I walked through empty streets, holding nothing but memory, fearing that fate itself had abandoned me. Yet even then destiny was at work. What I thought was silence was her heart calling mine across miles. What I thought was loss was simply the path destiny carved for us to find each other again. The struggles that seemed like endings became beginnings. The pain that tried to break me became the fire that shaped me into someone strong enough to hold her forever. Destiny does not avoid trials. It weaves them into the design, making the reunion sweeter, the love deeper, the forever truer. And when the world thought we had fallen apart, destiny gathered us in its hands, whispering that no force could undo what was divinely meant. Love is not a coincidence. It is the thread fate uses to bind two souls across time, distance, and every storm. When I saw her again after the silence, it was as if destiny itself had stepped forward, unveiling its secret plan. Her eyes carried the weight of every mile we had crossed, every tear we had shed, every moment we had doubted. And yet in that gaze, there was no bitterness, only recognition, only belonging. It was the look of two souls who had fought the world and found each other anyway. Destiny had led us here, past the voices, past the walls, past every attempt to keep us apart. In her silence, I heard the truth. She had always been mine. She had always waited, always carried me in her heart, even when she could not speak it aloud. That is how destiny works. It writes in silence what words cannot carry. In that moment, I knew the truth, as surely as I knew my own breath. We had never been apart. We had only been walking paths that were always meant to meet again. Every barrier that once seemed unbreakable now looked small in the face of fate. The voices that told us we could not last faded into nothingness. The doubts, the fears, the long nights, they became shadows behind us, powerless against the light destiny had placed ahead. I realized that destiny is not cruel, even when it seems to wound us. It only delays to prepare, only separates to strengthen, only tests to prove what is real. They thought distance would erase her from me, but distance carved her deeper into my soul. They thought silence would kill our love, but silence became the language where love spoke the loudest. They thought struggle would end us, but struggle became the proof that nothing, not even the impossible, could stand against fate. Love that is meant does not vanish. It survives every trial until it is revealed in its fullest truth. And ours, written by destiny itself, had only just begun. In the quiet hours I often asked myself why destiny would take us through such storms. Why would it not make the path easy, if we were always meant to be? But then I understood, destiny's strength lies not in giving, but in shape. It carves us through trials until we are ready to hold what is eternal. Without the struggles I would not have known the depth of her love. Without the silence I would not have learned the language of her soul. Without the distance I would not have felt the sweetness of her nearness. Destiny does not break, it builds. Every moment of separation became a thread in a tapestry greater than we could see. And when the picture revealed itself, I realized fate had never been against us. It had been for us all along, guiding us, carrying us, protecting us, until the day we were strong enough to truly belong to each other forever. The more I reflect, the more I see how destiny left its marks everywhere. In the way her name lingered in my mind when I tried to forget. In the way her presence filled my dreams, no matter how far I traveled. In the way life kept circling us back into each other's orbit, despite every attempt to keep us apart. Fate is patient, and it does not fail. It wrote us into each other's lives with the permanence of stars, not as fleeting shadows but as eternal lights. They tried to keep her hidden from me, but destiny placed her in my path again and again. They tried to silence my heart, but destiny made it beat louder every time she was near. They tried to bury what was meant to shine, but fate uncovered it in its own time. And so I learned nothing can outlast what destiny writes, and destiny had written her name into the center of my soul. Our story is not one of ease, but one of fate's unshakable will. It is the story of love that was tested by silence, distance and doubt, yet emerged brighter than any flame. It is the story of how destiny chose us long before we chose each other. I see now that fate does not bend to the voices of doubt, to the walls people build, or to the struggles life sends. Fate is stronger, deeper, eternal. It moves quietly, but it moves surely. It carried us through storms, through deserts of silence, through oceans of distance, until finally we stood face to face again, stronger than ever before. And in her eyes I saw not just love, but destiny itself smiling at me. I knew then that every struggle was worth it, every tear necessary, every mile sacred, for destiny had chosen otherwise, and love had won. Now when I hold her, I feel the truth of destiny's promise. We were always meant to find each other, always meant to walk through storms, only to discover the sun was waiting for us together. Destiny is not chance, it is design, and that design had carved our love into something unbreakable. They tried to keep us apart, but every attempt only proved how strong fate's hand truly is. They tried to silence us, but our silence became louder than their words. They tried to bury our love, but love, written in the stars, cannot be buried. We are not together because we fought harder. We are together because destiny chose us before the world even tried to interfere. And in that truth I rest, for no matter what comes, I know now destiny will always bring me back to her, and love, bound by fate, will forever be ours.